So we'll have 2 films. Although I feel like this session is going to mostly be us, like, you know, being mad about complaining about this is going to be called the we hate our love hate with the internet continues. You know, here, watch us all struggle with watch me struggle with internet. All right, so helmet. All right, I see.
Yeah, there's a badass dude in a helmet.
Okay, I see kind of a thing. Wait, let me put a new layer on here. Is that the helmet? I see that also as kind of a fish.
Where?
No.
Not at all.
It's a
Nope.
fish.
I'm missing a man? How could I do that? I'm like programmed to catch men.
You're missing a man. You're missing a man with
So
black eyes
there's
and a nose and a mouth and a chin and
okay, well I see a face in here with a nose and a mouth and an eye. Not that.
where?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
She's got it up at the top.
Okay.
Oh, you're very cold. You're not even warm.
Oh my god, I'm feeling. All right, let's see.
Should we tell her what color he is?
Well, if it's you, it's a black dude, because I know how you like him. So love it. Is he black? Is he, or is he green? Or
Pretty close.
He's not
black. He's light black.
Light black.
But
It's gray.
It's really black.
Actually, while we're speaking of this,
It's gray.
a few weeks, I can't believe I haven't shared this with you guys. A few weeks ago, I had this amazing dream in which I was making out with this guy, and he was like half black, half Asian, or he was like Asian, Caucasian, and black. He was beautiful, and he was hung. I got to find that out.
Yeah.
But then the dream ended before I could get much further. But yeah. And he was offering me money too, like not as a prostitute, more as a like, here, I'm rich and I know you're struggling a little, so here's some
Like a sugar daddy.
Yeah, and he was young. Oh my god. Okay, so back to the dude. I mean, I've seen this face here, but that's not him.
Yeah, you gotta find him.
I gotta find him.
He's very apparent. Oh yeah. Where are you? We'll do the whole thing.
My cat wants in on this. She's like wanting on my lap now. She's like, is there a man? So,
I don't know where my kid is. I see her. She's on the floor there, curled up. Okay, so yeah, find him.
I see I'm seeing there's kind of a face in here, but he's ugly. He's got a beard.
That's him.
That's him? Oh man, he's not my type. He's got
a
Neanderthal type.
He has
a nose and a helmet.
He's big. He's got a big face. He's got chin. See the helmet?
I don't see the helmet.
I told her it was like a Statue of Liberty.
I mean, I see kind of like a beard on.
Go up.
I'm seeing like kind of a Neanderthal type.
No, it's on top of his head.
Beard. Is that?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Nope.
That's like his left eye.
Got like
There's a nose.
Brow kind of guy. No.
You go down the nose.
So nothing, but I'm in the right area, but not the right.
Yeah, but he's got the other side too.
All right.
You're on his left eye. And he's got a nose right under that. And he's got another eye, black eye to the left, but it's just not as big. And look on top of his head.
Is this the helmet?
No, upper, up, on top of his head. That's his whole head. Go up. See that crown on top of his head?
That?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Well,
Yes.
that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the crown actually goes almost to the top of the piece.
Wow.
It overhangs the first waterfall.
Oh, I didn't know all that. I just thought that was his top there.
So
Okay, but
No,
anyway,
it goes-
you found him.
well,
is this his eye?
that's part of it, but it goes farther on up. Yeah, that's his eye. And then
That's
he's got a
the
nose.
left
Do you see
eye.
his nose?
Right? Isn't that his left eye? And there's a right eye next to it on the other side of his nose.
Is that his nose?
That's a nose.
Okay. And
Yeah.
No,
And I'm looking
his
at,
nose is pink. The nose is pink near the bottom of the second waterfall.
oh my. So you've got a different thing going on than what I had going on.
So,
Oh, I see. I see it. That was not my warrior was just that section that Liz just circled. But I see what you're
Oh.
saying, Doc. Yep.
Yeah.
I see now.
This is the whole thing, clear to the top of the paper.
Right. He's huge. I was
Yeah.
just looking at, so there's a guy inside of a guy.
oh,
I didn't catch that one.
he's a complicated man. Then, right? Is that what's? They're usually not that complicated.
Well, he's had time to develop.
Because he's very old. Great. It was funny too. Like,
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
yeah. Oh,
You know, he was the last thing I noticed. I actually thought I was close to through, and then I noticed him.
Or you can keep noticing stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this might almost be a fun thing too to like, you know, just if you don't mind, Diane. I don't know if anybody else. I know Karen has an iPad, so she could probably do this, and Susie does too. Not sure if Sharon does, but somebody, if they wanted to, on a, you know, this could be like kind of a fun activity to be like, hey guys, just take a, you know, either digitally or with or do a printout and like a Sharpie marker, and just outline all the different things that you possibly could see with this one. You know, let me. And there was something I wanted to show.
That would be fun because even though I painted, I could see new things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I took a picture of it so I could print it, do that, and then take another picture and send it in. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that would be like I can put that on as like sort of like a little fun activity thing for our, you know, because my plan is to send out something on Monday, probably late Monday, knowing me, but I've actually been working on some stuff, so I feel like I'm actually kind of on track with that, provided I, you know, stay focused kind of thing. Yeah, and I'm looking right now, and I want to show you guys this piece that I'd done a long time ago. That's when I was doing crackle milk paint, and see if I can find that in here. If not, I'll
And then
send it out.
if you have 5 minutes for my rose, you could tell me what how I can improve.
Absolutely. So let me just pull this one up really quick before we move on to the next thing. These all look good.
This is amazing, Diane. It's just so cool.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this for months.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing this.
Wow.
I think we've had such a live, even, I think what's amazing is even with all of the technical difficulties for this session, we've had so much fun just looking at it, and, you know, and it's been fun to actually cover some technical stuff in terms of composition, but just really just have fun with it, you know, and not feel like yeah, and just kind of enjoy that element. Okay, cool. This finally showed up. So this is something that
Okay, leave it there for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna take another picture.
Okay. And
I hope it's not in the lower right because you're in the lower right. I don't know why I've got a reflective, like one of those ellipses on this. I can't get rid of it, I don't think.
But I'm gonna send this
from my light above.
Karen, I'm gonna send the picture that Diane sent out, but yeah, it's all good. All right, cool. Let me share.
Oh, I got
this with you guys.
Cool. Okay.
This is what I was doing, crackle milk paint, and this is actually a pretty big painting. I think it's about 2 feet by 3 feet, basically I kept getting haunted by this bird goddess, who is a character in a book by Neil Gaiman. Yeah, it was. So Neil Gaiman had written this book called American Gods, and I know we talked about it, and I love this character called Bird Woman, or the Bird Goddess, who would kind of form herself into birds and then break herself. Birds would kind of converge, and then she would take sort of a human form, and then when she decided to go into, she would kind of break up into little birds and fly everywhere. At any rate, that kind of character haunted me. And she kept waking me up at like 3 a.m. So finally I was like, fine, I'm going to do a painting of you, so you will leave me alone. And it worked, actually. And I didn't mind. I mean, in some ways it was pretty cool to have these images. But what was weird is when I did the crackle milk paint as a background, I'll see if I can zoom in on this one, that the cracks in the paint, this was like in some ways one of the most easy paintings I'd ever done. The cracks in the paint cracked into bird shapes of all different things. So you could kind of see more clearly over here, like on this sort of moon section.
Wow.
That know, I just kind of like very similar to how Diane did her piece, I just kind of outlined all these birds, but it kind of had me thinking like how we influence materials with our energies, thoughts, or maybe just our brain, being a Rorschach test. I mean, there's this whole thing of confirmation bias. If you find yourself thinking about something, you'll suddenly notice that thing, whatever that is. It could be anything from like,
exactly.
Yeah. It could be
I'm
anything.
big on that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole idea of like how we create our universe and stuff. I've never really been able to count how many birds are in this. And it's one of my favorite pieces, actually. I haven't sold it. I've come close to selling it many times, but never sold it. So I still have it. I
think it's a keeper.
Yeah,
if you send that to us, we can search the birds.
Sure. Yeah. So that's sort of a little thing I wanted to share based on that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it makes me want to get back into. That's part of why I'm kind of enjoying teaching you guys, because I'm realizing what's happening is, it used to be that teaching was very separate from my fine art, and there's still kind of a line there, but I'm realizing that in some of these exercises that I've been doing with you guys, that there's more, how do I say, I can see I'm starting to bring my fine art into it, like the pieces mean more. There's more of a thing with that. And I'm looking forward to that with the portraits and stuff like that.
Great.
So, yeah.
So you didn't know they'd be teaching tools too.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know they'd be
teaching tools as well.
Yeah. And
as well as artwork. Yeah.
Yeah. And another kind of cool development, and then we're going to get into your rose, um, is a lot. Lately I've been more in touch with quite a few of my former students from Yay. Love that book. And I I've been more in touch with, I've been in touch with a lot of my former students who I had as high schoolers. Like yesterday, two of them were texting me back and forth, and how much fun that was to be like, we're all friends now. We're not like teacher student kind of thing. And I feel like that with you guys too, and have for a long time. So
Yeah.
but it's like we're all this kind of like creative journey together of fun, whatever we do. And Diane, you really you really knocked it out of the park with that one. So celebrate that, just happy dance kind of thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So
yeah, love it.
So let me get into Karen's rose, which there's also some really cool stuff to celebrate with that. At a moment I was like, oh shit, did I just lose you guys? I don't think so. Cool. And this has come a long way, which is really so. And in fact, when I first saw this, I thought like, oh wait, did she paint that? Did she repaint that? But then I see that there's a little bit of the underdrawing from what you did before there. So I'm like, wow, she did such a good job on that. So Karen, take it away. What do you want to say?
Thanks. Well, like I was kidding, and Susie got a kick out of this too. I said, I kind of wish I'd done a bud instead of a full frontal. Because, it's like this big.
You're so dirty.
Yeah.
I love you.
I know. So it's this big, huge head. It's like a big, huge head on a little body. And I thought, is it overpowering everything? And then I thought, well, I'm going to do another one with more of a budding kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But then I do like some things about it. And I listened to you, and I did that third leaf. The first bigger leaf is kind of screwy. But I figured, oh, well, things can have screwy leaves. So I was just going to leave it. Yeah. And then I just wanted to be able to see the stem, because I had done the leaves darker, but I'm not quite sure if I'm letting the stem stick like that or do it a little. I'm not sure. And I also haven't put the lines in the leaves yet. And I know whether I should highlight the rose more in parts. And I didn't do it in a systematic fashion. I kind of just smushed a bunch of paint on there and just kept doing stuff. But yeah, so that's about it.
Yeah, well, I say it all worked. I mean, like, and don't get too hung up on like, I think that's the other thing is people often are like, oh, did I do it right? Did I do it? Is this the right way? And it's like, well, there's lots of great ways to do something, and there's also lots of ways to screw up things too. That's like kind of limitless. But I think what you did really worked well.
Yeah.
And I think what's kind of cool too is with the, sometimes in general, a lot of times I'll say, oh, darken that up to make something pop forward. But also adding a highlight or having something be lighter can pop things forward too. So even though this back leaf is kind of dark, because of both the drawing and the lightness of the stem, that's working for you. So, it's normally a lot of times you'd say, oh, and so I'm like, well, if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Do I read that leaf as being behind? Yeah. Is it being distracting? I don't think so. I think it's, I think it's okay. So, and in fact, it's kind of acting more like a background, even though it's kind of small. And then I absolutely love, like, there's many parts of the petals that are really cool, that feel very, it's got sort of a very lush, rose-like, very sensual feeling to it. And I know your point about like, oh,
Yeah,
got like,
velvety.
yeah, exactly. I know your point about like, oh, it's got this big head, but that's the nature of roses. They have these, especially even the ones,
Yeah, they
miniature
do.
roses are, you have this little stem and there's this boom, big head kind of thing. Yeah, even like tulips. Tulips have somewhat sturdy stems compared to the size of their flower, right? Roses are like, yeah, big head on a little neck thing going on. And so yeah, nature of the beast. In particular, and I'm gonna change colors. I keep going to this area. I really like that feels like very much like rose petally to me. Like there's a lot of kind of richness, velvetyness in there that feels really good to me. So there's that. And that's working really good for you. I guess a wish might be, and the good news is you've covered up your inky dinks. You've done a really good job with the inky dink issues,
I put a wash on it.
Yeah.
But the wash was so light that was doing its own pink. Instead of inky dinks, they were pinky dinks. Anyway, I tried to, yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about you the other day. I was like, oh, I think I want to tell Karen, like, because I think a lot of times you'll say to me like, oh, I just kind of did this last minute, and hey, that's cool. Like, I don't want to make you feel bad for doing things last minute, because better something than nothing kind of thing. And I get it, like, but
right.
But I was thinking, would it be cool if Karen like kind of slowed down and gave herself a little more time on things, and not sort of, and my God, I feel like I say the same thing about myself too. Like, wouldn't that be nice, kind of thing. I think that would be like,
it would be.
Yeah. So I would say if you can try to slow down, even if you wind up maybe not having a piece that's quite as complete. Give yourself that time to do it. Kind of, even if you do a little bit less, kind of thing. I like the fact you get stuff out there though too. So but that's just a suggestion.
No, I hear you. I got it. Yep.
Cool. All right, I'll stop lecturing you. I always have to say.
No, I hear you. I've thought about, I thought about outlining the whole thing, but I don't know if that'd be too harsh. And then I was thinking, the last thing that I did, I kind of almost put two petals together, smushed them. I don't have the definition between some of the petals that I would like.
Perfect, because
that overall I got.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because that would be sort of my one wish. Would be some of these, and it wouldn't. I always feel like I'm always telling you guys, try this. It wouldn't take much, and it's true though. Like, and you're doing a better job too, just like you did with the leaves here, because I really feel like you did a nice job of like, and like you said, you listened, and you incorporated a lot of those, pretty much nailed the suggestions of, getting the how the stems meet the leaves. I think you did really well with that. So kind of on a similar note, looking at how the petals, where they join and where they overlap, and refining that just a little bit, and maybe highlighting it just a little bit, so a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dark, sort of very dark red, and I'm just going to go through and note, like, and I'm going to actually take the size down a little bit. this might be a job for watercolor pencils too. That's something that if you,
Okay, I found them.
awesome. That was like, oh,
Yep, I have.
yeah. And if you can find something
Cool.
pretty close. And so I'm just kind of going through here.
Yeah, they're right here.
And I'm just noticing, like, I'm just kind of creating a little bit of a cutoff point wherever it feels like, you know, taking my best guess, but I feel pretty confident because your drawing of this is pretty clear. So I don't feel like I'm really guessing here. But just wherever it feels like one petal ends and another begins, I'm just, well, you see what I'm doing. I'm just adding a little bit of a line. Not much of something. I don't want it too heavy. Just a little something, 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 something. Just kind of, and then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a highlight on these. I think you could do, and I just did that in there real quick. Sometimes I got to watch myself because I think it's good to work fast, actually. I think because I tend to work fast, I kind of can make a lot of, this is going to sound really funny, but
yeah,
like,
you do.
yeah, like I can make a lot of mistakes. I can make a lot of mistakes and I can also make a lot of corrections is how, yeah. And on some of my demos, especially digital, like there's no reason for me to like on using you know, traditional materials. I know that they can only take so much, you know, or that I might lose time. Like even if I'm working on acrylic, which can, if I need to, I can cover that up and redo it. And that's not that big a deal, but I'm losing time. But digital, I don't lose that much time if I screw something up. I mean, I don't. But acrylic, even that, like if I cover something up, I'm gonna have to let it dry, and there's still sort of a material thing. I don't know if I ever told you guys why I work really fast. And it was a total weird coincidence kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So just kind of dividing up. Now I'm going to go for the highlights.
So
I'm going to, yeah.
yeah, this is great. I found I have it's called Rexel Derwent 24 set watercolor pencils.
Yeah, Durant's a pretty
I found them.
brand. All right,
They're
so
right.
now what I'm doing is I just picked up from your highlight.
There's only one red. Okay, yeah.
I just picked up, and to do these highlights, depending on what's going on with the watercolor pencils, you might want to do the highlights with some Pearl White and some, you know, and some of the paint of the watercolor that you used. But so I'm just doing the highlights, and I'm just going to go through this and highlight things. And sometimes I got to do a softer wash, and sometimes I'm going to do a more edgy type thing. Let's see what that looks like. But as I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you guys why I work so fast. It's actually one of my signature stories. I might have mentioned it before, so I don't know, Diane, this might be repeat, and you're going to be like, oh God, here she goes again. But when I was a kid, I saw this film of Charles Schultz, who's the creator of Peanuts. There was like
yeah.
some sort of,
yeah, we know him. Yeah.
Yeah. Diane, did I tell you this story before? Or did we both forget?
No, I don't think so. Not familiar.
Okay. So when I was a kid, I saw this documentary on TV about Charles Schultz, and they had some footage of him drawing. And I didn't realize it, but he was just drawing really, 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 really fast, like super fast, right? And I didn't understand about that was, I was looking at like either time lapse or speeded up film footage. I just thought that's how fast the dude drew. I just was like, oh, so that's how fast cartoonists draw. Oh, well, okay. I guess I'm going to draw that fast then. So I started to draw fast because I just thought that's how you do it. You know, it was weird because my own mother, who was doing botanical illustration, she worked really, really slow because it's very meticulous. She was doing, you know, stippling, which is these little tiny dots and all this kind of stuff. And my mom does not work particularly fast as an artist. In general, but I was like, well, that's what Charles Schultz and cartoonists, and I don't know what my mom's doing, but that's how fast I need to work. And so, because I didn't realize that was a limit, that you shouldn't work that fast. I just did it. and yeah, that just kind of became my normal speed because I didn't know any better.
Works for you.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, and it's true, like
you do it.
Yeah, and it's true if I'm learning a new skill or something, or, you know, like I'm not that comfortable doing mechanical stuff like airplanes and things. I'll probably do that part a bit slower, you know, but if I know what I'm doing, I'll go pretty fast. But I guess I
was so impressed the day that you were drawing Hawthorne, and you were going so damn fast I couldn't believe it. I was going, look at this, and look at this horse, and look at how perfect he is. And I went, oh my God. And you were going really fast, and it just came out so spot on perfect.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it.
Oh, thanks.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Well, and I think what that says is like how we often put like kind of limiting beliefs on ourselves without even knowing it. And like here was sort of like again, as a kid, I just didn't know about that being a limitation of how fast people should or could draw.
Well, yeah, I think that's true. I think I spent most of my life limiting myself. You know, thinking that I couldn't do that, or I wasn't as good as this or whatever. Yeah. Because of shit that happened when I was a kid. And like, meanwhile, everybody's loving what I'm doing, and I'm like, yay, I can do this.
Yeah, and I think we all do it on many different fronts and different areas. I think some of us have, like, I think I have some limiting beliefs about money, but I don't seem to have limiting beliefs about art as much. You know, we all have our like little kind of things. All right, so I've kind of gone through here.
This is beautiful. I like what you're doing.
Oh, good. And let's see it.
Yeah.
About the edits. So
I like it.
That's what that's what I just.
Yeah, I got to take a picture of it too.
Okay. You want to see this?
Right. All right. Stay there now. Keep that there, please.
Okay.
And then I want to go back to, okay, I got a picture. And then I want to go back to the flower and take a picture of that one.
Gotcha. Do you want me to zoom in on it a little bit?
I'm not there yet. What?
Do you want me to zoom in on just the rose a little
sorry.
bit?
Okay, you could do that now.
Yeah. So you can see more detail.
Yeah, that's good. Stop. We're good.
Cool.
Okay, I've got pictures.
Yeah.
I've got 3 pictures. One of the whole thing, one of the close-up, and one of the markups. Yeah.
Okay. And I think we're pretty close.
Thank you.
Yeah, all good. Do you know how you're gonna do the leaves, the outline, or the veins on the leaves? Do you want some pointers on that, or see?
No, I mean, I was just gonna do a darker green. I have a line going from the bottom up to the tip, and then side things. Now, the side things, you know, when you're putting in the lines, do they go up to the I don't know botanically whether they just go anywhere, or do they go up to one of the points area, you know? Yeah,
I think the And I'm gonna ask Diane to chime in too, because I'm not in a nutshell, I'm not sure, but I kind of think they go to the points. But maybe they go, no, they go in between the points.
Yeah, well, on that big leaf, in between, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
On the big one, I've got, that's a screwy leaf.
Yeah.
Because it's not the right size. It's got more points on one side than the other side. And it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. We'll just say it's a
So,
hybrid leaf. Or the other thing you can do
yeah, yeah.
is you can
Not
add,
yeah, I'm not changing it now.
no, I don't think you should. I think you should just kind of go with it best you can. The other thing you can do is add a little bit of highlights onto the leaves. There, that feels a little bit better. Not too much, not too little, kind of.
Okay, another picture.
If you, to kind of give,
yeah.
Sometimes they'll catch that, the light a little bit. There.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So those are
and
just.
That stem, the stem on that leaf is a little fat.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the Pro White, but
okay, that gives me an idea.
Might make it a little. You could do Pro White with a little bit of a tint in it, and then kind of make it into a background. So let me see.
Yeah, I want to do a background color, and that was, I was going to do it kind of like a whitish beige thing, or grayish whitish or something.
Okay. I mean, I've got kind of a little bit, I would keep your background kind of neutral. I went for more of a bluish. Let's see it with a bluish, and let's see it with a beige.
Oh, I like that.
You know, and see, I kind of feel like a beige might make it look a little brownish. And then if you want to, you can kind of make that stem a little bit thinner. So it's adding a little bit of depth.
I like that.
Yeah, but let's try beige. Why not? And I'm also kind of like, I'm liking having a little bit of light around.
Wait. Hold up. I went to take a picture of that and you moved and I squished it up. I was going to do the blue thing. Hold up.
I know, don't blame.
I'm going to do that.
I'm liking, by the way, I'm liking the highlights. I mean, I would be a little, I'd find them. Okay, so hide that. We're going to miss out on the, and then go for a more beige or a warmer tone. Who knows? Maybe we'll like that better. This is what I'm thinking is a beige.
Orange.
You know, I mean, I don't know. We'll let Diane be the judge. Diane can judge us on this. Diane,
you're so good with this digital painting. I want to learn that.
I like the beige better. It's a whole warmer thing, and you could even put a little bit of rose into that beige.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, I like them both.
Yeah, and I'm not offended by either. Like this is actually kind of both, because I did a beige on a separate layer. Let me.
Yeah, I like both. Yeah.
You like both?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Okay, put them both. I gotta film it. Hold on. Yeah, both is really good. Okay, cool.
And it's funny too, because Diane, thanks for that, because I like that you disagreed with me, because I think you're right. It does, the beige is nice and warm too. Like they're kind of both pros and cons, but yeah. So yeah, so there's some pointers there for. I do like the highlights and refining the edges a little bit, where where the petals join is good. So yeah, but it's getting better and better, just like giving yourself that time. I think sometimes it's, kind of speaking of self.
I'll work on that today.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, speaking a little bit of self-limiting beliefs, how I think sometimes when we don't give ourselves enough time, it's almost like a little bit of a defensive mechanism, because then you can sort of say like, oh, and I saw this a lot with my high school students, where like they'd say, oh, I just, whatever. And they'd be like, all right, it's a way to kind of like excuse it. and then I'd always call him on it and get all mad. But that's okay.
Right.
Many years later, we could be friends.
So you're out of time and it just goes left.
Yeah. So wait, I want to make sure I got that. You said so like you're out of time and it's like you're out of class kind of thing, or
you're out of time, so you just go flap and send it off. And I think that's what Susie did with her tractor thing. I noticed that she had the sun was really the rays were in the wrong direction, and I know she was out of time, and I think she just went, oh hell.
Yeah. yeah. And then I think there's I think sometimes too. In fact, my cousin is one of my cousins. She's a filmmaker, and she did this movie called The Cats of Miracatani, which I highly recommend. It's won a lot of awards, but I met her. She on one of her visits out here. Her producer came with her, and he was this very cool kind of young guy, very hip. And he said, well, with film, you're never done. It's just when they take it away from you. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and here they had produced this really beautifully crafted film, so another saying I have that I've had for a while is, you're never done, with art in terms of learning and doing. Like, the only time you're really done is when you're done. Right. And who knows, maybe you'll be doing something on the other side kind of thing. So it's an endless, but that's what's cool about it, because it is something that you can keep exploring no matter what.
Very cool.
Just fun. So yeah. So anywho, I think that's cool. I think we covered.
Can you text me at some point the name of that film? The Cats of something else?
Yeah,
something.
Cats of Miracatani. And
where would you see it?
You can stream it. I know it was on Netflix at one point, but it also might be.
Oh.
But I'm not sure what the status of it is. Shoot, I don't know if I have a copy, but it's probably buried. I'm not sure where I've got it. But Cats of Miracatani, and then Bird Woman.
All right, don't worry.
I'm gonna make
we
sure.
We can catch up later on that.
And then I'm gonna send out Diane's piece with the thing. One last note, I do have a new student who's going to be joining us. Her name is Valerie Fuchser, and ironically, she is a former student of mine from high school days. So she's going to be for sure, and I think she's going to be a really good addition to our group, and really fun.
Great. I sent you money.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
thank you. Some money.
I appreciate that. I saw that on my thing, so I that's very generous.
Okay.
Much appreciated. So, and I know Diane, I know you're good for it. So we're all good. So, anywho, you guys have a.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good drawing day.
Have a fabulous day. Thanks so much.
Right.